This is my first time trying to mount all these drawers in any kind of dresser on any level. So what I did is I'm just trying to do a little mathing, trying to figure out the spacing. The thing is I got these little support beams right there at the bottom, and so I got to offset. I got to keep the bottom drawer and the top drawer below and above those so they don't run into them. So I'm starting my measurement above this guy and below this guy, and then figure out exactly how much space I have in between, which is 45 and 9/16. So 45 and 9/16 total space in between those two beams, and I want to offset my top drawer and my bottom drawer about 1/2 inch above and below each beam. So that gives me, well, we'll just split the difference. 45 and 9/16 will offset each one 4.5 by 1/16 of an inch below that and above that, which gives me exactly 45 inches of space in between that, divided by 5 drawers. That's 9 inches of space for each drawer to fit into, and each drawer is a little over 7 inches, so we got plenty of room. Now what I did was I went up 4.5/16 of an inch above that, and then I want to put the rails directly in the middle of the drawers, so that's 4.5 by 16 inches above that beam, and then I'm splitting the difference, so we're going to go 4.5 inches above, which is half of 9 inches of space, and that's where the beam goes across. And I'm going up 9 inches to do the other one, which would be 4.5 inches in the center of the other one, or the next one. So I'm doing that all the way up, and I'm marking each one. So this is 4.5 inches above 4.5 inches above 4.5/16 of an inch off of that, going 9 inches above, 9 inches above, 9 inches above, 9 inches above. If I did my math right, this one should be sitting exactly below 4.5 inches plus 4.5/16 of an inch off of that, which it is, and I measured it. So the reason I did this with the tape and the markings is I wanted to just get an idea of the spacing of each one of these drawers to see if it looked reasonable, if it looked equal, and also to check my math before I start actually laying down these rails and drilling anything in, because I only want to do this once and I don't want to screw up, because I usually screw up a couple times when I'm doing a new project, and it can be frustrating, as we all know. So I have all the slides in now. And one thing I noticed to see if my original math is correct is if I take the bottom spacer, 3 7/8 in between 15 16ths and 7/8. This is where I started at. So I have the same spacing on both sides. And if I did the math right, this spacer should fit in the top. So we go to the top too, it should have equal spacing, but it's not. So my math was slightly off. I don't know where, but it is. So I have about 1 inch here and 1 inch clearance right here. And then every single one of these is equal space because I used the 7-inch spacer in between each one of these. But that's not an issue. Basically all that means is each one of the drawers I put in, I'm gonna have to offset the rails, these rails that I install on the side of the boards by about 1/4 inch. So this one I just put in, the bottom drawer I just put in, it slides and attach them directly in the middle. Directly in the middle here. I'll just attach it straight across the middle. Well, not on that side, long side. And then the one above it, it's gonna be offset down 1/4 inch. Then this will be down 1/2 inch, down 3/4 inch, and then the top one will be down 1 inch. And that way, all the boards, not the boards, the drawers will all be equal spaced in reference to each other and from the top, if that makes sense. Get all the boxes in now. So now we just got to put on the faces. So I'm going to cut those up, trim them up so they fit. And then the last thing would be to put on these drawer pulls right here. Custom drawer pulls made out of wild big leaf maple. Oh, and I got to put the back on. Back's already done. It's cut to size. It already has the finish on it. I just have to glue it on the back of that guy right there. Enough pressure to seal up the back, although this carpet has a little give to it. That's what I'm concerned about. So I just did 6. One up and down on the sides, 2 in the middle. 2, 4, 6. Okay. Go boom. We'll go boom. I think that's the technique I'm doing. Seems cool. Take that off. All the way through. Sad days. It's all the way through. It's all the way through. That's pretty level. We're just gonna pound it. So now we got our holes there. Yeah, you can see it. That's pretty centered. Looks pretty good. I think we're pretty good. Oh yeah. Just a tiny bit over 1/2 inch. So how should I do this? Just trying to drill straight down. Straight down about 1/2 inch. I got our starter holes there, and then we're just gonna back it out a little. So we got one in. Back this out a little bit. Now we got one in. How's that looking? Okay, 3 more to go.